our conversations we don't say out loud. We carry them quietly, hidden in the crowd, smiling through the pictures, holding back the truth, fighting silent battles, trying not to lose. We've learned how to hold each other when the world gets cold, raise our babies, build our dreams, carry stories never told. The love between us is a river, deep enough to heal, but every river has a current that we never let reveal. Sometimes it sounds like a compliment, sometimes it sounds like a joke, sometimes it's wrapped inside a smile, but leaves a heart broke. Side eye, why we looking sideways when we're all just trying to find our way? Side eye, tell me what you're hiding behind the pain you never say. Maybe it ain't about a life, maybe it's the places we don't like inside our side. Side eye. I'm just keeping it real. How many times have we said that, leaving little bruises where another woman's heart sat, comparing every blessing, counting every scar, forgetting we're all worthy exactly as we are. Competition wears disguises, so does hidden fear. Sometimes what we're judging is the thing we need to hear. If I celebrate your crown, doesn't steal mine away. If your flowers bloom today, mine can blossom anyway. Healing isn't weakness, it's the bravest thing we do. Maybe every side eye needs a better point of view. Side eye, what if we looked inward instead of searching for what's wrong with her? Side eye, maybe all this time the mirror held the answer we were trying to find. The shade was never hers to own, growing in the places left alone. So I'm choosing healing, I'm choosing grace, I'm choosing.
This is a BLDS, Black Lady Doing Shit production.
Black women know how to love, but sometimes we also know how to throw shade. Let's talk about the side eye. Introducing the cast of Side Eye.
Hi, I'm Nia Brooks from the show Side Eye. I'm 40, born and raised in New York. My family taught me middle-class values, but we never forgot our roots. I'm observant, honest, the friend who tells it like it is. My name is Keisha Johnson. I'm a 40-year-old New York native. I treat people with kindness, but not everyone is happy for my success. I choose to stay authentic. My name is Rochelle. I'm 41 years old, polished, and always in control. Born and raised in New York, appearances matter. I know the image I want the world to see. Hey everyone, it's Erica. Your favorite life of the party is here. I heard the latest tea about Sarah's ex. You won't believe it.
Tell us everything!
Okay, so she caught him at the diner with her cousin.
My name is Aunt Bernice. I'm 68 years old, and I've seen just about everything life can throw at you. If you need advice, a hot meal, or a reality check, you know where to find me.
Hey
everybody, it's Aunt Cheryl. Let's get this party started. Come on, let's dance. Food's almost ready. That's the secret, y'all. Make everyone feel like family. Love you all.
My name is Uncle Leon. I'm 70 years old, born and raised on Long Island. I believe your character should speak louder than your mouth. I worked with my hands, raised my family, stayed out of drama.
My name is Jade. I'm 27, ambitious, smart, and still figuring out where I fit in. I grew up on Long Island looking up to women like Keisha, Rochelle, and Erica. They taught me sisterhood means loyalty, support, and protection.
Welcome, 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 welcome to Side Eye. It's a little mini story that I put together. There are some conversations we openly speak about. Then there are the ones we have with ourselves. Side Eye was born from one of those conversations. As Black women, we've mastered the art of navigating life. We've learned how to support families, build careers, and create community, celebrate each other's victories, and show up when it matters most. The love between Black women is real. The loyalty is real. The sisterhood is real. But so are the moments we rarely talk about. The sideway compliments, the jokes that sting just a little bit too much. The "I'm just keeping it real" comments that leave us replaying conversations on the drive home. Those subtle comparisons, the unspoken competition, the side eye. This story isn't about tearing down Black women. It's about holding up a mirror, about asking difficult questions with compassion instead of judgment. What if the shade wasn't really about the other woman? What if it was about the unhealed parts of ourselves? What if the comment we dismissed as just a jokey joke, was actually fear, disappointment, and regret, or insecurity trying to find a place to settle down? Side eye doesn't pretend that these moments define us because they don't. They just simply remind us that we're human. The main character, Nia Brooks, is 40 years old, born and raised on Long Island, New York, in a family that taught her middle class values while keeping her deeply connected to the neighborhoods, cookouts, and relationships that shaped her identity. She believes that she's observant, honest, the friend who tells it like it is, until one family cookout forces her to ask a question she's never asked herself before. When does keeping it real become hiding behind insecurity? Through family gatherings, beauty salons, brunches, old friendships, and uncomfortable conversations, Naya discovers that insecurity doesn't have a zip code, an income level, or an age limit. It can wear designer labels or sweatpants. It can speak with a smile and it can sound like concern. Sometimes it even sounds like love. This isn't asking you to judge the women, it's asking you to recognize them. Maybe you'll see your cousin, your best friend, your aunt, someone who once wounded you. And if we're being completely honest, maybe you'll recognize yourself. Welcome to Side Eye. Welcome.
Hey, yeah. Night rain on the window pane, purple shadows dancing in my brain. Candles burn while the world sleeps deep, and the quiet truths don't stay asleep. Soft lips talking through velvet smoke. Every word. There are conversations we don't say out loud. We carry them quietly.
Driving into the old neighborhood always feels like coming home. So many familiar faces out here.
Man, you burning the ribs. Flip them now.
Yep, same old debates at the grill. This place will always be home.
Auntie, how's everything? Chili, everything is just fine. But you know, I heard from Miss Jenkins that her grandson just got a new job. You remember him, don't you? Lean. Girl, you know, these family cookouts are the only time I don't burn the kitchen down myself.
Step aside, folks. The grill master is at work. These burgers are about to be legendary. These gatherings are what it's all about. Family, laughter, and no one going home hungry.
This is exactly why I love these days so much. Keisha, you look absolutely stunning. That glow is undisputed. I mean, you always fancy and look even more. You always look so put together, Nia. Must take a lot of effort, right? Some of us could never, but you make it look easy.
Hey, we love you for it, though. Keeps the bar high around here.
Finally decided to grace us with her presence. Hello, everyone. It's so long. Hey, Keisha in the business.
Yeah, acting all fancy. We see you, girl.
Look at you, all fancy now. Bet you don't even remember us little people. So, are you too good for us now? Is that it? You've so much, dear.
Well, if that's changed, at least my hair game is still undefeated.
The conversation moved on. Just like that. Nobody noticed. Nobody except me. And standing there with everybody still laughing around us, I felt something small settle in my chest. Not guilt. Not exactly. Just a quiet question. Why did making the joke feel so natural? And why did getting the laugh feel so good?
Welcome to Chapter 1, Pulling Up, Part 1. If you ever been to a black family cookout, you already know compliments don't always come alone. By the time I turned onto Maple Avenue, I had already rolled all 4 windows down. No point in fighting it. Summer had claimed the block. The smell hit first. Charcoal, chicken burning, just enough to make everybody swear it tasted better that way. Sweet barbecue sauce caramelizing over open flames. Somebody was frying fish. Somebody else had corn roasting right on the grill. I caught a hint of jerk seasoning, riding the breeze before it disappeared beneath cigarette smoke and somebody's vanilla body spray. I smiled before I even found a parking space. The neighborhood always did that to me. I wasn't raised here, not exactly. I grew up like 25 minutes away in a quiet middle class pocket of Long Island where dads cut grass every Saturday, whether it needed it or not, where moms compared school districts like stock portfolios, and where kids disappeared into the house the second the street lights blinked on. Our house had flower beds my mother took personally. Our mailbox always stood straight. Nobody's music spilled into somebody else's yard. Everything had its place. Then there was here. Here, life lived outside. Old man sat in folding chairs at the curb debating basketball players from 30 years ago like ESPN was taking notes. Little kids zigzagged through the streets bikes on bikes that were too small, too big, or missing at least one reflector. Teenagers leaned against parked cars, pretending not to notice each other while noticing everything. Women laughed loud enough for the whole block to hear the punchline. Somebody's auntie was yelling out second floor window, Malik, if I gotta say your name one more time, I'm coming down there. A little boy looked up toward the window. She ain't coming. His friend shrugged. You right. They went right back to shooting a flattened Sprite bottle across the sidewalk like it was a soccer ball. I laughed out loud. Some things just never change. The music was coming from three different directions. Maze and Frankie Beverly from one yard, Little Kim from a car parked halfway on the curb. Old school R&B floated over all of it from somebody else's Bluetooth speaker that had clearly seen better days. None of it matched. Somehow all of it worked. People like to act like black neighborhoods are loud. They are. That's because silence ain't never been our love language. Conversation is, music is, laughter is. Some folks hear noise. I hear community. I drove another few feet before spotting the familiar line of cars stretching halfway down the block. My family had clearly ignored the invitation suggestion arrival time. Again, I eased my SUV into the only space left between an aging Cadillac with chrome rims and a brand new Lexus that still had dealer plates. I turned the engine off, but I didn't get out. For just a second, I watched. Across the street, my cousin's husband was balancing three aluminum trays against his chest while arguing with an uncle about whether he was carrying them wrong. You walking too slow, my uncle barked. I'm walking with hot macaroni, not nitroglycerin, my cousin shot back. You spill my baked mac, we fighting. I bought the cheese. You still using my pan. I shook my head. Family. My mother used to say our people could turn directions to the bathroom into a full blown debate. She wasn't wrong. I reached into the passenger seat, grabbed a peach cobbler I promised to bring, and glanced in the mirror. 40. The number didn't bother me nearly as much as people expected it to. What bothered me was how everyone else acted like 40 came with a checklist. Married, kids, house, promotion, vacation pictures. You can almost hear folks doing the math every time they looked at you. I checked my lipstick anyway. Old habits. As soon as I opened the car door, heat wrapped itself around me like somebody had thrown a warm blanket over my shoulders. The bass from the speakers vibrated through the pavement. A domino slammed against a folding table. Somebody hollered. Somebody cackled. A little girl ran past with a juice pouch in one hand and a hamburger bun in the other. I stepped out onto the sidewalk, balancing the cobbler against my hip. Before I can close the car door, Naya! The voice carried halfway down the block. Girl, took you so long. Part 2. Everybody's somebody. Girl, what took you so long? I looked up and there was my cousin Rochelle, standing in the middle of the driveway, one hand on her hip and the other one waving a pair of barbecue tongs like she was directing traffic. I knew it, she hollered. She waited till the food was almost done. I laughed and shut my door. You've been telling that same lie since Clinton was president, and you've been late since before that. She walked over and wrapped me in one of those sideways hugs black women perfected somewhere around birth. Careful enough not to mess up earrings, wigs, makeup, or anybody's outfit. She leaned back and looked me over. That color looks good on you. Thank you. She nodded slowly. I couldn't wear it. I raised an eyebrow. Too much stomach for peach. There it is. What? The butt. What butt? You gave me a compliment and then somehow made it about yourself. Rochelle blinked. Damn. We stared at each other for about a half a second before bursting into laughter. You've been seeing that therapist too long, she said. And you've been avoiding one just long enough. She sucked her teeth. You came over here to start trouble? I literally just got out of the car. She grabbed the cobbler from my hands. Come on. Everybody asking where you at. As soon as we hit the driveway, I remembered why I love those cookouts. Nobody waited for invitations to join conversation. You just entered. Near the garage, 4 uncles stood around the grill the size of a small boat. None of them were actually cooking. Only one pair of hands held a spatula. The other 3 specialized in unsolicited expertise. I told you not to flip it yet. It ain't ready. You pressing all the juice out. You ever heard of medium? My Uncle Leon never looked up. I've been grilling before y'all knew what charcoal was. My Uncle Curtis folded his arms. Exactly. Leon turned. What's that supposed to mean? It means your cholesterol is older than your recipes. The circle erupted. Leon pointed the spatula like a judge handing down a sentence. Don't eat none then. I wasn't. Good. I came for the ribs. You ain't getting none. That's fine. You always say that. Because I know somebody going to sneak me too. And without missing a beat, Aunt Cheryl called from behind them. Not from my kitchen, they ain't. Everybody laughed. Leon threw his hands in the air. You see? That's why I stay to myself. Curtis looked around dramatically. When you started? Another explosion of laughter. I hadn't even made it 10 feet. Look who finally decided to bless us. I turned. Aunt Cheryl was making her way toward me with a paper towel slung over one shoulder like a chef. She hugged me hard. My baby, I missed you. You eating? I literally walked in. So that's a no. I bought cobbler. She looked offended. And I'm about to eat. That's what I wanted to hear. She handed the cobbler to somebody walking by without even looking. Put this in the kitchen. The teenager caught it on instinct. Yes, ma'am. No questions, no hesitation. You learned early that black aunties didn't repeat instructions unless they planned on embarrassing you. As we walked farther into the backyard, the volume somehow doubled. The domino table sat under a canopy surrounded by men who acted like they were negotiating international peace treaties instead of playing bones. Slap. One domino hit the table. You sure? Slap. You should have held that. I know my hand. No, you think you know your hand. An older gentleman in a Yankees cap leaned back in his chair and laughed so hard that he had to wipe the tears from his eyes. I watched these same four fools lose money to each other for 30 years. They ain't losing, Aunt Cheryl said. They just passing it around. On the opposite side of the yard, little girls were choreographing a dance that they had absolutely no intention of finishing. Every 30 seconds, they stopped to argue. No, that's my part. You skipped. I did not. You definitely skipped. One little girl finally threw her hands up. I'm telling my mother. The others were, in perfect harmony. Cry, baby. I smiled. There was something comforting about the predictability of it all. Same folding chairs, same card table, same cooler nobody was allowed to sit on because it apparently contained the good drinks. Same aunties reminding everybody to fix a plate before the teenagers inhaled everything. Same debate, same jokes, different years, same heartbeat. You smiling hard. I looked over. My mother had appeared beside me so quietly she nearly made me jump. Still elegant, still perfectly pressed, still somehow managing to look cool in 90-degree weather, while the rest of us glistened. You scared me. She kissed my cheek. If I scared you, that cobbler would have been on the ground. Fair point. She adjusted the collar on my linen shirt the way she'd been doing since I was 6. I told you this color looked nice. You did. Mothers are usually right. Usually, she smiled. I was leaving room for humility. Before I could answer, the low rumble of an engine rolled slowly down the block. Conversation didn't stop, it shifted. Almost without thinking, heads turned toward the street. A pearl white Escalade eased up to the curb and came to a smooth stop. The music kept playing. The dominoes kept slapping, but just for a second, the block watched to see who was getting out.
Soft light, evening glow. She might essential, let the magic flow. Bath and spray, a gentle start. Body but a woman, every part. Crystals hum, charms and light. Smoking herbs, energy shines. Every drop, every scent. She Mecca essentials, my heart's contented. She Mecca essentials, house of blessings, honey. Spray so glow, feel the magic pressing. She Mecca essentials, house of blessings, honey. Every night, every way, lift your spirit rising. Lift your spirit rising. Mystery box.
Part 3. The glow up. You see, Nia's cousin Keisha is the one that stepped out of the Cadillac Escalade, looking noticeably different. She had lost some weight, changed careers, and carries herself with a quiet confidence. Everybody rushes over. The compliments start immediately. And then the compliments become jokes. And then the jokes become little cuts. And then nobody raises their voice. Nobody's openly mean, but the energy changes. Nia notices it before she understands it. Let's continue. The block. Watched to see who was getting out. The driver's door opened first. A long brown leg stepped onto the pavement, followed by a nude colored heel that looked expensive enough to make you walk differently. Rochelle squinted from the driveway. Who that? My mother smiled before anyone else figured it out. That's Keisha. No, it ain't. It is. Rochelle leaned further into the street. Shut up. Keisha stood up from behind the driver's door, closed it with one hand, and looked toward the house. She smiled. Not the nervous smile people wear when they're hoping to be accepted, and not that overly big smile that people use when they're trying to prove that they're happy. Just peace. Her hair cut into a sleek shoulder-length bob that moved when she moved. Gold hoops caught the afternoon sun. White linen pants and a fitted olive green tank. Flat leather sandals. Nothing about her outfit screamed for attention. Nothing needed to. She looked like a woman who had stopped asking permission to be comfortable in her own skin. Before she could take 3 steps, Keisha! Half the family descended on her. There were hugs, kisses. Somebody almost knocked off her sunglasses. My baby, look at you. You look good. I almost ain't recognize you. Keisha laughed. I hope that's a compliment. It is. Aunt Cheryl squeezed both of Keisha's cheeks. You look beautiful. Thank you, Auntie. When you cut your hair? About a month ago. It fits you. I was scared at first. Scared of what? Hair grows back. Everybody laughed. I watched Keisha hug person after person after person. She wasn't rushing. She wasn't performing. She made eye contact. She listened when people spoke. She looked settled. That's the word, settled. Like she finally unpacked something that she's been holding on to for years. What's she been doing? Uncle Curtis asked. My mother answered before anybody else. She left corporate. For what? She started her own consulting business. Curtis let out a low whistle. Well, look at God. Keisha smiled. It's been a blessing. You making money? Keisha laughed. Enough. Enough means yes. Everybody laughed. Then came the first comment. It floated in so casually that you couldn't have mistaken it for a conversation. You done got so skinny. It was Aunt Bernice. Aunt Bernice. 68 years old. Church every Sunday. Could fry chicken with one hand and humble you with the other. Keisha smiled politely. I've been taking better care of myself. Bernice nodded. A beat passed. Just don't disappear. A few people laughed. Keisha laughed too. I still eat. I'm just saying. Bernice waved her hand. A little meat looked healthy. The conversation kept moving, or at least it looked like it did. I noticed Keisha's smile returned a second later than everybody else's. Then Rochelle slid in. Girl, don't listen to Aunt Bernice. She thinks everybody should look like they survived Sunday dinner. Even Bernice laughed. Watch your mouth. I'm telling the truth. Keisha reached over and hugged Rochelle. I missed you. I missed you too. And then another voice. So, cousin Erica folded her arms with a grin. Now that you fancy, you still eat barbecue? A few people laughed. Keisha tilted her head. I've always eaten barbecue. I don't know. Erica looked her up and down. You got on linen. More laughter. It's hot outside, Keisha said. I know, but linen is the universal sign that somebody got promoted. That one landed. Even I laughed. Keisha Keisha did too. I promise I'm still me. You better be, another cousin chimed in. Don't come over here asking for sparkling water. Everybody cracked up. I drink water out of the sink if the pressure's good enough, Keisha shot back. Now the laughter felt easier, natural for a moment. Then I caught something. Not in the words, in the timing. Every compliment somehow circled back to making sure Keisha hadn't changed, hadn't gotten too successful, too polished, too different. Nobody asked her how she found the courage to leave a stable job. Nobody asked what it felt like to build a business from scratch. Nobody asked whether she was happy. They were all trying to figure out whether she still belonged. I leaned against the fence, watching. Maybe I was reading too much into it. Maybe this was just a family being family. Still, there was something underneath the laughter, something subtle, something I just couldn't quite name. Keisha spotted me across the yard. Naya, she opened up her arms. There you are. I walked toward her smiling. She hugged me tight. Mmm. I leaned back. Look at you. She laughed. I know. Everybody keeps saying that. No. I looked in her eyes. I'm not talking about your weight. For the first time since she arrived, her smile softened into something genuine. I'm talking about your face. My face? You look. I searched for the right word. Rested. She blinked, and she smiled in a way that almost looked relieved. That's the nicest thing anybody said to me today. Before I could respond, a voice drifted in from behind us. Rested? It was Erica again. She laughed as she walked over with her red plastic cup in her hand. Girl, that's what we be calling rich now? Child. In part 4, just joking. The conversation continues around Keisha. Each joke gets a little sharper. Someone questions whether she's too good now. Someone else comments on how she changed. Another woman disguises criticism as concern. Without thinking, Naya delivers a quick one liner. Everybody bursts into laughter. Even Keisha laughs. But Naya catches something in her cousin's eyes, a flicker that disappears almost instantly. The laughter lingers in the air. Naya's smile fades just enough for somebody to notice. Let's continue. Girl, Erica laughed, swirling the ice in her cup. That's what we call rich now? Keisha smiled. I wish. Don't do that humble stuff. I'm serious. You drove up in here in that Escalade. Keisha glanced over her shoulder. I've had that truck for almost 2 years. You just never washed it before, Erica shot back. A couple of cousins laughed. It doesn't look newer. Strike that. It does look newer, Rochelle added. 'Cause I got it detailed. Ooh. Erica nodded dramatically. She says detailed now. Keisha laughed. Girl, stop. No, seriously. Erica held up both hands. I'm proud of you. I'm just trying to figure out when you became one of those people. What people? You know, Erica shrugged. The peaceful people. They got another laugh. Keisha smiled politely. I've been working on myself. Aunt Bernice looked over her glasses. Working on yourself can become selfish if you ain't careful. The laughter softened. Keisha nodded respectfully. I hear you, Auntie. No, listen. Bernice stepped a little closer. These days, everybody's talking about boundaries. She stretched the word out like it tasted funny. Boundaries. A few older relatives chuckled. Back in my day, we just answered the phone. Even Keisha laughed. I still answer the phone. Bernice gave a tiny nod. As long as you don't get too important. There it was again. There it was again. Not mean, just there. Almost impossible to object to because every sentence came wrapped in a smile. My mother wandered over, carrying 2 paper plates. Who wants potato salad? Perfect timing. The conversation scattered for a moment. People reached for plates. Someone yelled that the ribs were finally ready. Kids sprinted toward the dessert table, even though nobody had announced dessert. The block found its rhythm again. Keisha exhaled. I don't think anybody noticed except me. You okay? I asked. She looked at me and smiled. I'm good. You sure? Yeah. She glanced around the yard. I missed this. You really? I did. She laughed softly. I forgot how much everybody notices everything. I smiled. They noticed if you blink different. She laughed. Facts. Rochelle walked back over, carrying a plate piled with food that looked physically impossible to balance. Move. We made room. She took one bite of the macaroni and closed her eyes. She pointed to the fork toward the house. Who made this? Aunt Cheryl. I knew it. I knew it. Another bite. I would have fought somebody if it wasn't Cheryl's. You fight over macaroni, I asked? I've seen people fight over less. She ain't lying, Keisha said. Remember Uncle Darnell and the peach cobbler? The 3 of us burst out laughing. He still swears somebody hit it. They did, Rochelle said. Aunt Cheryl hit it. 'Cause he took half the daggone pan home. He was grieving. He was greedy. We laughed harder. It felt good, easy. And for a few minutes, it was just cousins remembering old stories. And then Erica wandered back. She looked Keisha up and down again. Not rudely, almost curiously. So, she tilted her head. You dating somebody? Keisha nodded. I am. Ooh. That one word traveled across the yard like smoke. What he do? Someone asked. He owns a construction company. Damn. He black? Keisha smiled. Yes. Never been married? No. No kids? No. Erica looked up at the sky. So basically, God got favorites. Everybody laughed, even Keisha. Then Erica smiled. You know, she reached over and touched Keisha's arm. I just hope he's not one of those men that change women. What do you mean? You know, she shrugged. You finally get a good man, and then all of a sudden you can't come around no more. Keisha's smile faded just enough for me to catch it. He actually encourages me to spend time with my family. Good, Erica nodded. Because we seen how that story ends. There it was. Concern, or at least that's what it sounded like. I don't know why I opened my mouth. Maybe because everybody was getting so serious. Maybe because silence felt awkward. Or maybe because I spent 40 years learning that a well timed joke could rescue a conversation. I smile. Long as she don't be bringing no kale to the cookout, we good. The yard exploded. Even Uncle Leon looked up from the grill. Kale, he shouted. She better not. Rochelle doubled over. That's foul. Somebody clapped. Aunt Cheryl laughed so hard she had to grab the picnic table. Kale, even Keisha laughed. She pointed at me. I would never. You sure? I grinned. I know you've been over there meditating. I don't even own yoga pants. The laughter rolled through the yard. It was a good moment, or at least I thought it was. Then, just for a second, Keisha looked away. Not long, barely a heartbeat. Her smile slipped. Not completely, just enough. Like she gotten tired for one tiny moment before remembering everybody was looking. Then she smiled again. The conversation moved on just like that. Nobody noticed, nobody except me. And standing there with everybody still laughing around us, I felt something small settle in my chest. Not guilt, not exactly, just a quiet question. Why did making the joke feel so natural? And why did getting the laugh feel so good? I'll be right back after this.
This place is beautiful. Look at these. They smell amazing.
Soft light, evening glow. She make her essential, let the magic flow. Bath and spray, a gentle start. Body butter, warm in every part. Crystals hum, charms and light.
Juicy acai berry, creamy Adriatic fig, sweet Bali mango, fresh, playful, vacation, pure tropical happiness. Oh, I'm buying this immediately. This exotic fruit body moisture smells amazing. I'm getting it. You guys have to try it. This body moisture and other products are available at chamakaessentials.com. See you in the next experience.
I hope you enjoyed chapter 1 of Side Eye. Make sure that you tune back in and set your notification bell for chapter 2. There's always a method to get a message through. Make sure you tune back in. I thoroughly enjoyed sharing that first chapter with you. So, as a recap, as we get on out here, I think I might continue this during the morning inspiration. I don't know. Let me know. I'm going to put a poll there. I hope you answer it before we get out of here. Would you prefer evenings like this, or would you prefer mornings consecutively? Let me know. and I'll do the best I can to accommodate. Once again, thank you for coming. Thank you for listening. And I hope that you're going to get the message out of this. Be well, stay safe, Ashe and deep bow to each and every one of you. Have a great evening, and I'll catch you on the other side. Once again, let me rerun for you the recap of Chapter 1. Be well.
There are conversations we don't say out loud. We carry them quietly.
Driving into the old neighborhood always feels like coming home. So many familiar faces out here.
Man, you burning the ribs. Flip them now.
Yep, same old debates at the grill. This place will always be home.
Auntie, how's everything? Chili, everything is just fine. But you know, I heard from Miss Jenkins that her grandson just got a new job. You remember him, don't you? Lean. Girl, you know, these family cookouts are the only time I don't burn the kitchen down myself.
Step aside, folks. The grill master is at work. These burgers are about to be legendary. These gatherings are what it's all about. Family, laughter, and no one going home hungry.
This is exactly why I love these days so much.
Keisha, you look absolutely stunning. That glow is undisputed. I mean, you always fancy and look even more.
You always look so put together, Nia. Must take a lot of effort, right? Some of us could never, but you make it look easy.
Hey, we love you for it, though. Keeps the bar high around here.
Finally decided to grace us with her presence. Hello, everyone. It's so long. Hey, Keisha in the business.
Yeah, acting all fancy, and we see you, girl.
Look at you all fancy now. Bet you don't even remember us little people. So, are you too good for us now? Is that it?
She's so much, dear.
Well, if that's changed, at least my hair game is still undefeated. The conversation moved on. Just like that. Nobody noticed. Nobody except me. And standing there with everybody still laughing around us, I felt something small settle in my chest. Not guilt. Not exactly. Just a quiet question. Why did making the joke feel so natural? And why did getting the laugh feel so good?
Hope you received what you needed today. Thank you for coming by and spending some time with me. Come back soon. Ashe and deep bow to you.